So I thought it would be fun to go and see what the cheapest retro all-in-one handheld is on the market. And I found this. This is the SUP Gamebox 401 retro handheld device. And it looks strikingly like a Game Boy, although a Game Boy it is not. So you do get a little manual here. This shipped from a U.S. seller. I got mine on eBay, although you can get them on Amazon. More on that in a moment. However, I paid only $13 or $14 for this unit, which is actually remarkable considering what you get for this device. If you pay in the neighborhood of $40, you can get the BitBoy. If you pay another $20 or so, you can get the Gameboy Color, which will allow you to play cartridges and is of higher quality. However, this is a fun little device. And you know what? It feels pretty good in the hand, although it is light as can be. Featherweight, weighs nothing like the original. It does have a little cell phone battery in the back here, so it's rechargeable. Lithium ion, lithium polymer, I'm not sure which, but you can get, I think, 6 hours of playtime, and that is really cool. Right there is worth the price of admission, not to have to worry about AA batteries or any of that nonsense. On the top here, you've got AV output connection, on and off switch, USB. I would use that for power only. I wouldn't connect it to my computer. Little volume knob on the side, which is cool. D-pad, start menu, all the basic controls you would expect, and a kind of a textured finish, which is really nice. It gives it a very nice feel in the hand. I will say this, it is definitely much smaller than a Game Boy. There's a close look at some of those controls and connections and things. There's the volume knob. I like the textured feel to it. You can get this in a variety of colors, and I got the yellow one, which is pretty awesome. Did you ever know that kid that always had the cool toy before you did, or always had one version better of whatever you had? Well, I was like that. I had a friend just like that. And when I finally got the NES, he got a Super NES. And then he got a Game Boy. And I was like, this is insane. It felt like such a premium item going over to his house and playing with it. Like they could compact a Nintendo Entertainment System into the palm of your hands. Seemed like such a luxury and such a high quality product. It was just amazing. And even though it had a dot matrix display, and there was no backlight or anything like that, it didn't matter. It was just such a novelty. It was so cool. I wouldn't even call it a novelty. I would say it's a major advancement. Well, so this is the first Game Boy that I got. This is the clear Game Boy. It was part of another round of marketing the Game Boy technology. This is probably 94-ish that I got this unit, and unfortunately, I don't have it anymore, or if I do, I don't know where it is. So now, the Game Boys that I do have are this guy right here. So this is a Game Boy Color. So again, not backlit, but it only takes 2 batteries. You know, uses the old Game Boy cartridges. This was either my brother's or my son's, I don't remember which. And then my daughter got this, the Game Boy Advance, which is one step further. As you can tell, this one's in a bit of rough condition, but it has, check this out, if I can get it out. Super Mario 3, guys. To me, that's what it was all about. I love that game. And Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. So, from my original Game Boy foray, the only 2 remnants are these cartridges. They were actually my friend's that he left over at my house and never picked up again. So, these are them. And this is the original, cartridge that shipped with the Game Boy. So, comparing and contrasting, this is nothing like that. I mean, this is cool, and I've had this now for several days, by the way, and I have a hard time putting it down. My wife will tell you, boy, do I have a hard time putting this down. But you don't feel that sensation of, man, that's a quality device. I mean, they've taken some steps here to make sure that it, to give you that impression, but it's a lot smaller. I mean, it's a lot smaller than even the Game Boy Color, which was in itself smaller than the Game Boy. Although it does have a 3-inch color backlit screen. I do like some of these design cues, like these little notches right here are very Game Boy-esque. So I was happy to see that. The little speaker with the angled piece down there. So there's no kidding, who this is, targeting and what we're trying to look like here. I would say, and again, there's others out there. This is one of many. There's some that look identical to this, but don't have these little notches, so I don't know how different those are. This does have the rechargeable battery, by the way. But, there's the BitBoy for about 2-3 times more than this, and then about double that, and you can get a Gameboy Color, which is even better because it actually plays cartridges. So this is the bottom of the barrel. But considering this was like $12 or $13, it's not bad. It does some really cool things. And like I said, I can't put it down. So let's go into a room with some low light, and we're going to go ahead and test this out, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, guys, and let's power it up. It comes up to this menu right here. I'm going to turn the volume up so you can hear it even through my microphone. First thing I notice is this little light icon here is at an angle. So if you look at it straight on, it's not quite right. It's super bright at an angle, though. That's enough to drive your partner mad. The screen is pretty bright. The colors are there, although I'll get to that in a minute. It's kind of one of the strange things about it. Light comes out of everything. The headphone jack / AV output jack, even through the battery compartment. That's the back of the TFT LCD screen right there. But let's go ahead and dive in. Obviously, you've got two menus here, Chinese and English. The up and down D-pad, by the way, is super sensitive, but the left to right is rough. You have to push, especially left, you have to push down hard on it. Hitting start, we go into the 401 menu. So there are some of their most, proud titles, as it were, on the front here. Mario 1, Mario 3, everybody's favorite, Mario 14. But as you go through, pages and pages, you're going to see some repeats. Also, they are known to take single levels from games and create individual titles off of that. But there's some really fun stuff in here. There's definitely some NES material. There's definitely some knockoff material, some bizarre material. I think there's some arcade material. There's no Game Boy material. I know some of the higher end units do have that. But some of these titles crack me up. Poo-Yan. Everybody's favorite Poo-Yan. Bird Week. It's included, you guys. Let's see what else we got. There's some really funny ones. There's one called Milk and Nuts. Milk and Nuts. Water Zone. Well, that's War Zone. Through Man, which is actually surprisingly a fun game. I've had this now for several days, so I've been able to jump in there and really experiment with it. Just some of these titles. Tetris 2. Okay, let's look at Tetris 2. Does this look like any... I was really excited about this. Then I was like, wait a minute. Level 0. I love handicap select. What music do you want? Oh, I'll take silence, please. This doesn't look like Tetris. What the heck is this? Kind of looks like Tetris, but... I don't know, guys. This one... Either they took out stuff or this is some... I don't know. There's so many knockoff versions of Tetris out there, it's not even funny. Anyway, hitting the menu button brings you back to here, which you have to do every time. The Chinese menu, by the way, is kind of interesting because there's some English titles in here, and there's some Japanese or Chinese titles in the English menu, which is kind of bizarre. But again, let's spend most of our time here in the English menu. Let's start with Mario 1, Super Mario 1. The screen's going to look worse on this video than it does in person, by the way. But there is this weird bias towards reds and oranges. Like, it actually looks better on the camera in terms of that, although the artifacting you're seeing isn't present in real life. That's something to do with the camera. You can see it kind of changes when I move the angle. But watch what happens when we start this game. Something funky. The music is super speed. I don't know why. But it's here. I mean, it's the real game. It is what it is. And I'm just as terrible at it as I am at the real thing. Mario 14, like I said, a perennial favorite. The up and down is so sensitive. Check it out. So Mario 14 is a little more Asian, a little more martial arts driven. Let's go ahead and try it out. Copyright 1993, Mario. Seems legit. I actually found myself getting stuck in this game because I couldn't jump high enough to get over something. So perhaps the controls... Yeah, right here. I don't think I can get any further than this. Oh, never mind. Anyway, Mario 14. You may have never seen that one before, but there you go. You get Mario 14. Oops. I hit the menu button instead of the start button. Mario 3. This is probably what I was most excited about. Seems legit. There's not supposed to be any music during this, so that's good. As expected. Again, the screen looks a lot better in real life than it does on here. Oh, yeah. Good memories, you guys. Good feelings. This looks so much better on camera than it does to my naked eye. Because in this case, the background that you see here is kind of this peach color, this light orange. Looks spot on in the video. But on the actual device, it looks dark orange. And Mario's dark orange. It's just weird. It just doesn't look right. Like there's something wrong here with what I'm seeing. But on camera, you know, it looks a lot better. So maybe if I connect this to an external monitor, which you can do, it'll be better. But I'm not going to, that'd be hard to show on camera, so we're not going to do that. Now, one thing I had wondered about is, was this real or not? Oops, don't do that. And I remember some of the tricks you could do in this game, and I wondered if those would carry over if this was a clone versus an authentic original. Notice the little screen part missing on the left, a little screen tearing. On the right, you'll see some artifacting as we scroll. But again, 13 bucks, you guys. And if I seem extra bad at this, which I am, it's because I'm trying to do this through the camera. Good Lord. Okay, let's give that up. Anyway, I found out that, long story short, you can actually do some of the special features like drop behind the white screen and stuff. Turtles 1. So here we go. Non-English in the English menu. Remember the Game Boy title, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fall of the Foot Clan? This has some of those same sound effects. I wish it was that game, because that was a great game. I don't know if this is the famous multiplayer arcade game. I don't think so. But anyway, that's that. Let's see what else we got here. Sorry for the focus, you guys. I'm in a dim room for obvious reasons. We got some old school stuff in here. Check this out, you guys. Pole Position. Rebranded as F1 Race. Having these games, you guys, even with the issues, is just phenomenal. And again, the artifacting is not present in real life. That's something to do with the video, and my apologies for it. Sound effects, though. So good. Man. Kids these days, they don't know what they're missing. Okay. Let's see what else here. I was really, really, really excited for Tetris and really bummed that it turned out to be that weird thing. So yeah, some bizarre stuff in here, you guys. Argus. Now, some of these you're probably like, that's a real game. That's a normal game. What are you talking about? Fruit Dish. Fish Story. Greeds. Shot Put Orchard. Steam-Made. Chess, which is not, it must be a Chinese chess because it's nothing. Circus Charlie, that's actually an old Commodore 64 game, I believe. Clue Clue Land. Bird Week. Let's try this. Do you guys remember Bird Week? Neither do I. Listen to that buzz, by the way. Okay, you can't hear it now. There's a little bit of a buzz on silence. Strange. It's kind of like a Flappy Bird kind of thing. Interesting. There, I don't know if I mentioned it, but there is a really weird Angry Birds thing on here. It's like indescribable. I don't know if I told you this or not yet, but you can page through it like in groups or individual pages to kind of get through the menu and get what you want there. Pong Pong, or Pong, yeah, Pong Pong, Seawolf, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 1, Mowing, Nutcracky. Interesting. Sorry, guys. I'm just flying through it. Just want to show you a variety of things on this device. We'll try one more. strong pill. This has got to be a good game for the kids. What in the world, you guys? Black levels are actually really decent in real life. Okay, stage 1, we get it. Oh, I get it. It's like Boxel. Do you remember Boxel, where you kind of move the boxes to cover certain things? That's cool. All right, well, there it is, you guys. Okay, guys, and that's going to do it. Again, I apologize. This isn't as slick as some of the other gaming channels do it because we're not a gaming channel. But if you want to do more games, let me know. I'd like to know what you'd like to see. I always want to do what you guys like to see. I like gaming. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. You know, Game Boy, NES, Super NES, these are things that I had, and I have a very strong sense of nostalgia for them to this day, which is why I thought we'd take a gamble on this guy. And it's cool. I mean, I can't put it down. I can't put it down. My wife will attest to that. I cannot put this thing down. Do I feel like I'm holding a Nintendo product, a Nintendo quality product? No. It's adequate. Like I said, the D-pad, the left move, oh, it's so rough. I mean, you have to really, really push down. That being said, there are unboxing videos. It's not much, or not unboxing. There are teardown videos on this. It's not that exciting. It's just one circuit board. I don't know if it has the famous blob with a Nintendo on a chip running it, or exactly what's happening here, but it's a repurposed cell phone screen, and you've got, basic, these are actually the same D-pad controllers with different buttons on them. Little, speaker. It's not even really a speaker. It's like, there's actually a term when you're making sound for 8-bit games. It's not speaker. But there's little rubberized pads under here. And the quality is actually, looks good in terms of, how it's put together. It doesn't look junky, but this thing weighs nothing. It is featherweight. Compared to a real Game Boy, there's no comparison. That being said, like I said, I can't put it down, and it's a lot of fun. For 13 bucks, you can't go wrong. I mean, you really can't go wrong. If you want to get one of these, I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get one on Amazon. It's a bit more expensive than I paid for it, but your purchase will go directly to supporting this channel. However, you can go out there, pro tip, and get it on my eBay like I did for a lot less. So that's up to you, you guys. It is fun. It is fun. It is what it is, you guys. It's some kind of video game. And I'm not a guy that's going to sit down and game for hours on anything. But to sit and fill the time, 5 minutes here or there, this is really fun. It's really, really fun. I don't think you can save progress in games or anything like that. And the screen is so, I don't know if it's glass or plastic. I think it's maybe a plastic coated glass, but the outside film is pretty delicate. I feel like you could scratch it just by staring at it too hard. But there it is, you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. We've got some cool content coming your way shortly. But in the meantime, stay safe. Happy record hunting, listening, gaming, whatever you want to do. Just have fun out there and stay safe, guys. Talk to you later.